Welcome back to A Class Act. I'm Michael Young, founder and CEO of MBN Solutions, and this is the podcast where we go beyond the buzzwords to have real, honest conversations with the leaders shaping AI. Today's guest is someone who's been living and breathing AI at scale inside two of the biggest organisations in the world. Natalia Konstantinova is a lead enterprise architect in AI at NatWest Group, and before that she was leading AI strategy at BP and has presented in numerous stages on Agentic AI at scale. Today she's going to talk us through the 4 pillars of Gen AI adoption strategy and exactly what success metrics leaders should be focusing on. Natalia, brilliant to have you on the show. Welcome.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm excited to join.
You've got a really interesting path. I've been doing my homework and researching and looking through your positions and what you've done. Can you give us a background on your journey, please?
I think I'm like a persona which knows a bit about quite a few different areas, and in Gen AI world it became really handy. So my background, software engineer, data science, AI, and when all the new technologies appeared, I understood I'm really well positioned to tackle them because I'm bringing experience from all these areas, which are not new ones, and bringing them to one place.
So AI adoption has basically exploded in the last, say, 3 years. But you've shared a striking stat that only 1% of executives describe their AI rollout as mature. Can you talk us through what's going on here?
So obviously AI is not new. AI was here with us. It was maybe branded differently, but it was here for a while. But 3 years ago, ChatGPT came up with the new interface and allowed more people to experience and actually trust the AI results. So a lot of executives became really excited. So what we've seen was a shift in the mentality. So instead of technical people going and saying, reach great technology, please use it, executives coming and saying, like, I read newspapers. I want the same stuff working in my company. And I think why it's not maybe mature that many of people went into technology first approach. So looking for how to apply available technology rather than thinking what are the problems where technology can help. So it's trying to apply it in different places and hoping it will work. And that's why I think not many companies have full confidence. They are fully aware how to do things, and it's still brand new. So for many companies, as say, like they're far away from Amazon scale on Google, and they're learning on the journey. And no one knows the answers. So even the big technology companies still find the answers because it's evolving so fast.
As you said, a lot of companies are really trying to work things out at the moment, and there's a lot of hype around. But from the outside, it does look as if there's a lot of progress going on within different organisations. Like for us on the talent side, when people are maybe looking at hiring like head of AI, but when you really get into the details, there often isn't a defined problem behind it. So the brief becomes, come in and tell us what our AI strategy should be, and rather maybe having something in place. So it can be quite a risky place to start from a hiring perspective as well.
Also creates unicorns. Most probably you've seen it's like a person who needs to build a strategy and be really, really aligned to a business and understand business deeply. Someone who needs to know the technical aspect and also aspect of organizational. So it makes the role of chief AI officer quite challenging, also governance. So rather than just technology role where you come and implement what you just said on the available strategy, you also need to build strategy first, talk to a lot of stakeholders and have all this communication happening.
And you talk about, there is a framework you talk about. So let's talk about your framework, because I think one of the most practical things you can give a leader listening to this is structure. You talk about 4 pillars of Gen AI adoption. Walk us through that if you can.
Yeah, and I think it scales, it's AI adoption in general. So obviously Gen AI is on the top of minds for many people because it's really practical, and we're now moving as a new thing also to Agentic AI, but foundations are really similar. So, and I look at it from 4 big pillars. Obviously you can have different opinions. So where first is strategy, then you have governance, operations, and people in technology. So you have chunks of things and the sequencing of them to make sure that whatever you do scales. Because a lot of people, as we just discussed, try different things and hope they will scale instead of just thinking what allows them to scale. And the big organizations don't have such an opportunity to just hope for the best. They need to be really strategic. And here it's you think about what you want to do strategically. You make sure that you have the governance in place to make this experimentation and work really secure and safe and trustworthy. Then you think about operational things where people come, for
Yeah.
example, into play really heavily. And then, only then, you think about technological aspects. And there are a lot of things in technology we can share, but those other things we just talked about are extremely important and sometimes even most probably more
Yeah,
important than
definitely.
technology.
A lot of the different events I've been hosting and events I've been at, it's really more about the people side of things now and the leadership. The technology has always been there, but finding the people with the leadership experience who can bring it all together is so important, especially in this world we're living in at the moment. Because you do make the point, and I do love this, that there's no such thing as a technology strategy. There's only a business strategy that technology supports. Why do so many organizations possibly still get this wrong at the moment?
It's a new field. We're all learning. And technology
Mm,
excites what we said. Technology excites people. So they start looking and trying to replicate what other companies are doing rather than remembering that technology, even if it's transformation and AI is transformation, it's still technology, it's still an enabler. So in many organizations, not even the core business. So the core business is drilling, banking, and then technology supports and transforms how we get there, but it's an enabler. So we work and we help the business to get their value and their proposition much faster and much more reliable way. But we're not deciding, driving what's the value. So it still goes back to what business needs to deliver and how technology can support in the best way. That's why when you have what you just said, like technology and business, two strategies, they usually
yeah.
start conflicting with each other.
And I think this is where a lot of businesses fall into a trap. They think that bringing in a strong technical leader will create the strategy. But actually, if the business isn't clear, the tech just amplifies the confusion.
Yes, I'm with you. So if business doesn't know what is the focus, I think it's wasting a lot of money in building extremely interesting technical solutions. Everyone on technical
Yeah.
team, usually everyone is super excited about, and people have a budget and they start experimenting, but they really need direction to focus. So they need to know what their KPIs is and how to measure success and how to measure success, not from technical point of view. The model delivered 99% of precision, but how it translates
Yeah,
in the
fully.
value for the business.
And I think looking at the other parts of the talk we're talking about today is like governance as well. I've had quite a long, lengthy conversation with someone looking for a position yesterday, and they went in as like a head of data and AI and governance. But again, like we've seen quite a lot lately, when he just spoke about what he was actually doing just for the governance, that was probably about enough for two people, never mind looking at strategy, looking at the data, and looking at everything else. So let's talk about governance. Why is governance so critical? And what does good governance actually look like?
I don't think anyone will
Yeah,
will answer you what is the good governance, but it's fit for your organization and make you compliant with all organizations are really different. Yeah, so I worked in energy sector, now work in finance sector, so the governance for them will be different because regulations are different for each organization. But it's a process which is a repeatable process, which allows you to have confidence that what you deliver is following your technological controls, following your regulations, whatever regulations, and people know it exists and people trust it. The main point here is we want to enable people to experiment, and sometimes you hear people saying like, "Oh my God, governance kills experimentation. We want to have more stuff which is not governance, so we create." But actually,
yeah.
governance sets you some boundaries which are safe for experimentation. So if you think upfront about how you govern things and give people some values and some things to think about upfront, they will be just knowing that what they're doing won't be killed later stage by the governance. It's within the boundaries and they're doing the right thing. So whenever they have to bring it to production, it will be much easier route to life rather than struggling or even finding it's not possible
Especially within
what can be done.
regulated environments? I suppose you've been working across regulated environments.
Yeah, and we have some regulations we have to follow, and it allows business to run. So thinking, educating people around this possible and what is allowed is extremely important. And having these bodies that review things and make sure that, as I say, scale is not an easy thing to achieve. And having a governance in place helps because it allows things to go all the way to production rather than die at the beginning. And also it makes sure that people reuse assets. They make sure that they follow regulations. So it becomes extremely important if you want to scale. So we're thinking now about, obviously, agentic. You will have a lot of agents. So if you don't think about governance upfront, it can become a bottleneck at a later stage, and it can become also a really risky thing for your business to adopt. So framework helps you to make these decisions faster. Governance is also all about responsible AI. So making sure we are governed and compliant with regulations, but also things we do are responsible.
Recently seen quite a big uptake in the market for businesses looking for people to come in and just niche down on like AI ethics and guardrails as well, just because a lot more project-based, a lot more companies are looking for people to come in on a project base for skills like that as well. Because I think a lot of people probably spoke about it more, but now with different regulations, got to get it
implementation time. In this respect, we're in a good place because you have also big vendors thinking about it like really actively and delivering. But going back, it's the same for strategy. So not every business is the same for each business. These guardrails can be different. And it's really important to identify which are the ones you want to introduce.
I think going back to governance, it's one of those things that people know they need, but maybe at times feel it could slow them down. So it can get pushed aside in some industries as well. But from what I've seen, the companies that skip it early, you do end up paying for it later on, where there's a lot more risk and maybe rework, loss of trust internally as well. So really, really important to get the governance done right as well. And something else you do talk about as well is like maybe these are different facts, but maybe less than 1 in 5 organizations are actually tracking KPIs for their AI solutions. Can you talk a bit more about why this needs to be a priority and how to maybe define success metrics up front?
AI is an enabler. So it enables you to do some certain things, and you need to know whether actually it does the job. So in order to understand that it does the job, you need to measure it. In some research organization, don't start experiment if you don't know how to measure it. Here as well, if you don't know how to measure your AI, it might be an indication that it's not really linked to a particular business problem. So that's why it's kind of a mental check for you. Can you measure it? Do you know why you're bringing? So it forces you to answer really important questions upfront. And then also gives technical teams and teams on the ground really good feedback. Is it working? And is it helping to move some problem forward and delivering value? Each use case is extremely difficult. So if we talk about not Gen AI even but forecasting, I don't know, most probably you forecast something to make some operations more efficient. So that's what you can be measuring. You can be measuring obviously how well forecast works and tracks, but most probably it's done for a reason, business reason. So you need to measure 2 things at the same time. And I've seen projects either doing one thing or another, but you need to focus and bring two of them together. I think also you ask why. For Gen AI projects, it's difficult to measure. And there is a lot of discussion, for example, about productivity Gen AI brings. It's not an easy task to measure. And that's why sometimes people try to kind of avoid it and just have a good narrative saying, we think it makes it better. And it's a shortcut. In some cases, I think you can look at Gen AI applications as educational ones, and that's one of the positions. And then you measure less and say, I empower my people, I give them the skills, this is a new skill set. But when it's linked to a particular business application, KPIs
definitely
are much needed.
I suppose in all industries, KPIs are very important to keep things on track. Not so much now. Definitely not in my business, but I've been in some businesses where it's really been driven by KPIs as well. I quite like that as well. Early on in my career, just I knew where I had to be and what I had to achieve. It does It does really help me. But when you look at the stats, maybe like 1 in 5 organisations are actually tracking this at the moment. It's quite a surprising stat as well.
Yeah, so, and
Yeah.
I said, it's difficult. Agentic is really difficult, and maturity, we go back to maturity. So maturity is not there everywhere to recognize that you need it. There is a lot of an excitement and also, fear of missing out. People think and see that their competitors are building, so they just run into it to build something rather than think about it properly.
I think it just having these conversations with people like yourself just really shows me how important it is to have good people like yourself in an organisation who can run through these processes and have things in place to get things over the line. Because if you don't really kind of start with a clear business problem, it is almost impossible to define meaningful KPIs, I suppose, as well.
Right.
There's quite a lot of kind of senior leaders tuning into the podcast. I know I get quite a lot of messages after it where I know people are they're getting quite a lot from it and hearing from people in the industry and what they're doing. So like, practically speaking, maybe like a CTO, CIO, Chief Data Officer is listening to the show right now and they want to set KPIs for their AI program. What are the 2 or 3 measures that actually matter? Yeah.
Going back to what you deliver. So you can be transforming your workforce with AI and transforming your processes. So then you will be measuring actually whether it works. So whether before you introduced AI, it was performing on one level. So baseline is really important. I think that's what we didn't talk. It's setting how things were working before. And these KPIs are not specific for AI. These KPIs are specific for your business. You're doing and transforming HR services. Let's see whether we actually transformed. Did we start hiring people quicker? Did we start hiring better people? So all these things are not specifically AI ones. There's your business KPIs and your AI ones will be there. I don't know how precise the system response and all this, they will be helping your technical teams. But for you as a senior leader, whether AI works or not will be connected to whether it brings you value or not. What's the value was the reason to use AI in the first place.
Yeah,
so that's what you measure.
And you wonder if some leaders sometimes overcomplicate it because ultimately the KPIs that matter are the same ones that have always mattered around revenue, cost and risk as well.
As I say, sometimes it's just like with AI, it's not extremely easy to measure them. Yeah. So let's assume you brought Copilot 365 and the proposition is really great one and everyone loves it. But how would you measure that actually people use it and it empowers them to do things better, faster? It's difficult. So you need to have the whole framework. You need to think about it.
And your research highlights something that I find fascinating. The biggest barriers to AI adoption aren't actually technical. They're about strategy and talent. That really resonates obviously with somebody like myself. I've been working in data talent for 20 years now. I think I placed my first ever data professional in Lloyds Banking Group back in 2005. So I've been around for a while in the talent market. But it'd be good to hear a little bit about from yourself on that.
Yeah, so we hear a lot about the different new models and things that appear technically and they're extremely exciting. But the key success lies to understand what's the use case, where it will bring value. It's not about the most powerful technology. It's about whether someone is using your powerful technology. Is it adapted? So it's all about change management. Did you make sure that you have selected the right use case from strategic point of view? Did you make sure that whatever you built was adopted by the users? It was solving the right problem? And did you have the team to build it? So a lot of technologies can be bought, can be built, and we see a lot of technological decisions that would never be used by the business as well. Why? Because change management wasn't thought about. No one connected what we said, these KPIs to this particular application. And technology was built not fit for purpose. So here, as I say, operations, change management. And then if you have all the technology and you have the all great ideas, but you don't have people to build, support, implement, and bring to your company, obviously,
yeah, definitely
a huge challenge.
I spoke to someone, it was actually on a previous podcast before, and we were talking around about this new position that's exploded, like head of AI, director of AI. I'm speaking to people every day about this, like really such a fascinating area for me. And again, as I said earlier, I've been around data people for a long time now, but I've worked on some head of AI searches recently, and it's just such a complex area at the moment. And I asked someone kind of what they thought makes a good head of AI or a director of AI, and they said one of the most important things is being able to hire good people, like having So just as simple as that, your job is to be able to hire good people and have the strategy in place around you to do that. So it's been quite a fascinating industry at the moment, and around talent and leadership, and we've been building out different platforms for this. We had a really good Edinburgh panel a couple of weeks ago. What would you say yourself? What would you say makes good AI leadership within an organisation?
I think we
Yeah,
touched a bit at the beginning. It's being being connected to the business, at the same time leveraging technical knowledge and communication skills to be able to talk to people and bridge the gap between business and technology. I think it's extremely important. And then, yeah, so if you don't have a team, you have no one to rely on. So obviously, you can't progress quick enough. Someone said that you need to find a team where you're not the
yeah,
smartest person in the room, you know. So especially in data place, I think also I find it really nice when leaders also really motivated and can
yeah,
make you excited about what they do. So I think the difference between leader and great leader is you look at the leader and he so or she is so excited and has a vision that they can deliver on. So I think it's like having a vision and looking into the future, but at the same time being really present in the here and now and looking how to deliver on this vision. I think this is not something like
yeah,
is easy to find because it's combining. And
yeah,
as I say,
definitely.
we say unicorn needs to know technology, needs to know people, needs to know business,
Yeah,
and be a great
ideal,
leader.
definitely. I think just kind of touching on this again, I was running like business roundtables. It was like data impact leadership forum, and I was bringing like 20 people together and London, Edinburgh, Glasgow, and but before it was all like just data and technology people I was bringing together, and it was leaders within that field. But we've really opened this up now, and we're bringing in people from the operations, senior HR people, even learning development, and bringing them in with like people, like technical people like your business leaders like yourself as well. And it just feels as if in this new world of AI, there's just it's much more of a business. It's just across the whole business. I think that's what I'm trying to say, rather than just one person. There's a lot of businesses at the moment are just maybe hiring one person. It's not like a business like NatWest, much smaller than NatWest, but they're bringing in one head of AI and they're just expecting them just to go and just solve all the problems in the whole business. And this is where I'm talking to people on a daily basis where this is a problem, where people are getting into organizations and thinking this is a perfect job for them. And the amount of people I speak to within the first 6 months who are looking for a new job with that head of AI job title is unbelievable at the moment.
I think, yeah. Also, what became a bit different about AI, obviously, we didn't encourage everyone
Yeah,
to do coding. Yeah, so it wasn't a thing, but we encourage everyone to use AI, and because it's really accessible, and instead of waiting for sometimes for someone like head of the AI to transform things, to be more open to also to come forward and do smaller things they can within their team, within their workloads using AI, because things became super easy. It's not about programming language, it's about formulating what you want and AI can deliver. So I think maybe one of the things we didn't mention about AI leader is all this excitement I talked about, exciting the rest of the business about it and educating them. I think one of the also like super key ones, and we mentioned at the beginning, is people, is education AI, because it gets governance right. It helps things to operate faster. It helps you to build and align to your business when you educate people what AI can do and not do. And it's
yeah,
almost like a job on your own.
hmm,
It's like evangelism, but like full time without the title evangelism. But
yeah.
that's what
It
helps,
probably
I
needs
think,
more
as
than
well.
one person. It's a full leadership team doing that maybe with someone driving it. Yeah. And I'm back down in London on the 9th of June to do one of my roundtables. I'm just waiting for it to be confirmed, but a very senior person at NatWest is going to come in and do a talk as well. So I'll let you know all about that. It'd be good to see you there as well in London around about the 9th of June. Okay, coming to the kind of last one from me. So to sum it up, if a leader is listening right now and they want to take one concrete action this week, what step would you advise them to do straight away and get going with?
I think it depends on the leader, but educate yourself on AI. That would be your first action. Start with yourself so you can scale down to your team and get them excited. So I think leading by example here works really well. When leaders come forward and like share the lessons learned with AI and say this will be something we'll be breathing in and out, and I think AI first. It's really inspirational to see leaders actually knowing what they're talking about rather than just saying like, yeah, we'll do it, but I would never touch it. And it really helps. I do use a lot for my personal life. I redesign kitchen and do a lot of other things which are completely not work related. And I'm sure I can do more stuff. And I've seen people actually sharing, and it's extremely exciting as a side project. So I think embracing it and educating yourself is really important.
You're at a lot of conferences yourself and talking a lot these days as well, aren't you? So I suppose it must be like constantly learning from yourself as well. You must have to just keep up to date and be reading and listening and
learning is a key skill. So people say like, what one advice in AI? So it's like learning and embracing the change. So things will be changing from now on, and the pace is quite astonishing. So instead of saying like, oh, I will wait and hopefully it will disappear, let's embrace the change and be prepared that that's how it will work in the future. So no one most probably will have a job for life anymore. I've heard someone say like, you will change 4 careers in your life or something, like for the new generation. So you'll be but at the same time, so AI allows you to reskill much faster. So being open to challenge and learning every day. I think that's the motto we need to embrace.
I've had to go back to school for all this stuff as well. I thought I'd learn everything that I had to maybe learn across like talent and finding organisations, data professionals, but this is a brand new world again, even for myself. But I really enjoy it. It's fascinating. Even these podcasts like on with people like yourself, I'm having to really kind of do my homework and read up, but I'm learning a lot, and I know a lot of people that are listening are really getting a lot from it, and I'm sure they will from today. Ideal. All right then. I think we've covered enough for today. I could probably sit and ask you a lot more questions, but I know you've got a busy schedule as well. So, but I really, honestly appreciate your time. It's been great. And can you let people know where they can find you if anybody wants to reach out and connect with you?
So I'm easily found on LinkedIn. And whenever I'm not lazy, I post as well and share things which matter to me. Usually it's AI space. Generative AI, it's a mix of technology adoption, best practices. And I do speak at, as you said, so I will be at AI Summit. I've just been to Gen AI Summit in London. So I'm lucky to live in London where there are a lot of events. So I don't need to travel. And I think also now I'm joining more financial events. I think there is FTT festival or so event happening.
Are you speaking at any of these events coming up as well?
The ones I mentioned are speaking. So I'm speaking about identity and agentic. I'm speaking on, I think, adoption of AI. I'm speaking, I can't remember, something about AI financial services. So I'm really passionate about sharing my experience. And as you said, for me, it's a learning experience myself. When I prepare a talk, I actually do a lot of work myself to answer the question which is given by, organizer. How do you scale agentic? I did a lot of work to deliver the talk, and people said, oh, it was useful. I was like, it was useful for me as well. I try also to connect to a lot of people when I go to conferences to have off the stage discussion, how they adopt AI, what are the main challenges, what are the solutions. So it's extremely
excellent.
useful.
And now you can maybe send me over an email, just a list of all the places you're talking, and I can, when we're sharing the podcast and distributing it for the listeners, if you enjoyed this episode today, please subscribe on YouTube or Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It'd be appreciated. And if this has got you thinking about building your own AI team, whether you're looking at bringing in a leader or building out Gen AI, teams of engineers, you can let me know as well. That's what I do at MBN. And you can find me on LinkedIn as well. Thanks very much. Really appreciate it. It's been great talking to you, and I hope to catch up with you again soon. Thanks very much. Thanks for listening to A Class Act. If you've enjoyed the episode, make sure to follow the show so you never miss a conversation. And if you're building a data team or making a key leadership hire, reach out to us at MBN Solution using the link in the show notes.